That same evening, he ordered a private DNA test. When the result arrived, his world shattered. Not his. He tested the second boy. Not his either. The woman he defended, protected, abandoned his first family for, had given him nothing he believed he had. Not even one child. And for the first time in years, Rowland remembered Vera. He had abandoned her and her mother, insulted them, called Vera a criminal, refused to help when she was in police custody, all because he believed he finally had the real family he always wanted, sons.
Weeks earlier on this African story, by noon, the company called an emergency press conference. Journalists filled the hall. Employees stood shoulder to shoulder, shame and anticipation hanging heavy in the air. Mrs. Princewill stepped forward, composed, graceful, resolute. Earlier today, she began, we discovered undeniable evidence that Vera West, a valued and dedicated staff member, was falsely accused and wrongfully detained. The company deeply regrets the distress, humiliation, and trauma she endured. A hush swept the room. Tears welled in the eyes of those who had whispered, judged, or turned away. She was framed, Mrs. Princewill continued, targeted by someone who abused her position and the confidence our organization placed in her. For this, we offer Vera a public and unequivocal apology. The board member stepped forward. They announced complete restoration of her professional record, payment of lost wages, a compensation package for emotional trauma, full coverage of all legal fees, a formal written apology in her file and email to all staff, and her reinstatement with an immediate promotion. All eyes turned to Vera. She stepped forward, fragile yet composed. I truly appreciate everything, she said softly, but I need a fresh start. I want to rebuild somewhere that won't remind me of what I survived. Silence filled the hall. Respectful, understanding silence. Her dignity stood taller than anyone in the room. For the first time since her nightmare began, Vera walked away, neither broken nor bitter, only stronger.
Mike drove her home silently, glancing at her every few seconds to make sure she was really there, really safe. When they reached her gate, Vera hesitated. Can you stay for a bit? She asked quietly. Of course, he said. Inside her small apartment, she sank onto the edge of the couch. The place felt different now, like the shadows had thickened, the air grown heavier. Trauma clung to the walls. Mike sat opposite her, hands clasped, expression heavy. Vera, he exhaled shakily. I'm so sorry. She looked up slowly. I didn't know if I should keep quiet or fight, he whispered. When the accusation came, part of me, just a tiny part, was confused. Not because I ever believed you could do something like that, but because everything happened so suddenly. Gold made it look so real, and I didn't know you well enough yet to be certain. Vera's eyes lowered. It's okay. No, he said firmly, moving closer. It's not okay. His voice cracked. You were in there alone, scared, hurt, and I should have fought louder from the beginning. I should have trusted my instincts. The moment Gold started acting strange, too eager, too emotional, too rehearsed, I should have known something was wrong. Vera pressed her lips together, tears gathering. I should never have doubted you. I should have believed you from the start. I'm sorry for that. Tears slipped down her cheeks. Mike, everyone else believed the lies and abandoned me. But you didn't leave me. You didn't turn away. You went to the police. You brought evidence. You fought for me. You saved me. He looked pained. I should have saved you sooner. She reached for his hand. Gentle, hesitant. You saved me when it mattered most. Mike's shoulders loosened. Relief softened his expression. He cupped her cheek with trembling fingers. You don't know how scared I was. Every second, I kept thinking, what if something happens to her in there? Her breath hitched. And when they released you, his voice broke. I wanted to fall on my knees. She leaned into him, pressing her forehead against his chest. I'm here. I'm still here. He wrapped his arms around her, holding her tightly. No rush, no pressure, just warmth and truth. I'll never let anything like this happen again. And for the first time since her world collapsed, Vera felt something gentle returning. Safety. Meanwhile, back at the office, the company cafeteria buzzed like a disturbed beehive. Nobody worked. Everyone whispered. Phones were out. Screenshots flew everywhere. Have you seen the video of Gold screaming when they arrested her? They dragged her like a goat. God forgive me. I always knew something was off about that girl. Too much for me. I'm just happy Vera is innocent. That girl suffered though. And Mike, that man is loyal. He fought for her. Gold's father even didn't help her. Can you imagine? They say she's still crying in the station. No bail yet. Good for her. Wickedness has expiry date. Even the managers, who usually acted strict and untouchable, were whispering with wide, stunned eyes. The whispers continued all day. Shock, shame, relief, gossip. But the atmosphere had changed. Vera's name was no longer associated with scandal, but with strength. The day after Gold's arrest, Mr. Cooker requested an emergency closed-door meeting with Mrs. Princewill, the senior executives and the board. The long executive conference room felt suffocating. Shame, disbelief, and exhaustion hung like a thick fog. Mr. Cooker stood at the head of the table. He looked smaller than anyone had ever seen him. Shoulders bowed, fingers gripping the polished table as though it was the only thing keeping him upright. He swallowed. When he finally spoke, his voice trembled. I want to apologize for everything my daughter did, for the shame she brought on this company, and for the life she tried to destroy. Silence smothered the room. I've refunded every naira stolen in the staged robbery, and I'm prepared to compensate the company further for all damages. A tense ripple went through the executives, tapping fingers, uneasy glances, muttered reactions. Then he begged, "But please, I'm pleading with all of you. Withdraw the case. Let me handle Gold myself. No father can watch his child rot in its cell, no matter how monstrous the child's actions." The room froze. Mrs. Princewill leaned forward, eyes sharp and cold. "Mr. Cooker, your daughter orchestrated a violent crime. She instructed armed men to shoot the driver and security officers on the leg just to frame an innocent girl." Her words hit like glass shattering. "Vera spent nearly 3 weeks in a police cell, 3 weeks of fear, humiliation, and trauma. And Gold?" Her tone hardened. "1 day, just one." Executives nodded grimly. "She deserves to rot in jail." Agreement rumbled quietly across the room.
Then, soft, broken, I know, Mr. Cooker's voice wavered. I know what she deserves. Vera has been released, cleared, compensated. And Gold, he paused, breath unsteady. Her reputation is destroyed. She can never work here again. Videos of her bragging and of her arrest are everywhere. She can't walk outside without being insulted. That alone is punishment. He lifted his red, exhausted eyes. Please, let me take responsibility for my child. The silence stretched, tight and heavy. Finally, the CEO spoke. Very well, we will withdraw the case. But Gold will never set foot in this company again, and the incident stays on record. Reluctant nods followed. Mr. Cooker pressed a shaky hand to his forehead as relief crashed over him like a breaking dam. Thank you all, he whispered.
Later that day, he arrived at the police station. Gold sat on a metal bench inside the holding cell, knees tucked to her chest. Her hair was tangled, makeup streaked, eyes swollen from hours of crying. She looked nothing like the glamorous woman she once flaunted herself as, only a broken, frightened version of her former self. The moment she saw him, she jumped up. "Daddy, Daddy, please get me out of here." But he didn't rush to her. He didn't open his arms. He stood still, studying her like a stranger wearing his daughter's face. Gold. His voice was soft, but unbearably heavy. "Do you understand what you've done?" She flinched.
"You framed an innocent girl,
Abused your position, orchestrated a violent crime." His voice shook. "You got people shot." She opened her mouth. "Daddy, Stop!" The word cracked like thunder. Even the officers looked up. His voice hollowed. "What you did was evil." A long, painful beat. "If you were not my child, I would leave you here." Without hesitation. Her tears fell harder. "But I am your father, and despite everything, I cannot watch you rot in this place." A fragile sob escaped her. "I am arranging your release. The company will withdraw the case." Relief flooded her face. But then, his voice sharpened, final and cold. "Listen to me carefully." She stiffened. "You cannot remain in this country. You cannot return to your life. You cannot face the people you hurt." Her lips trembled. "I am sending you abroad. You will further your studies, start over, and you will have enough time, more than enough, to think about the person you've become." "Daddy, please, you will go," he said, unshakable. "Actions have consequences." Gold nodded, defeated. He stepped closer, close enough to see her tears, far enough to withhold comfort. His voice dropped to a whisper. "I love you, but I do not recognize the person standing in front of me." And that was the moment Gold collapsed, crumbling completely under a truth she could no longer escape.
Rowland had watched the press conference with mild surprise. Vera, innocent. So all the shouting he did, calling her a criminal, meant nothing now? He exhaled sharply and muttered quietly. Good for her. At least nobody will drag my name into her mess. That was as far as his concern went. He turned off the TV, adjusted his shirt, and focused on the people he believed mattered. His wife and his 2 sons, male children, his pride. As far as he was concerned, Vera and her mother were a closed chapter. Vera used part of her compensation money to rent a modern apartment, bright, untouched by her past. As she stood in the living room, sunlight poured across the polished floor. The clean paint, the quiet air, the stillness. For the first time in years, she felt safe. Her mother touched the new curtains, eyes soft. Vera, this house, it is beautiful. Vera smiled. We deserve it, Mama. After everything, we finally deserve peace. Mike came in carrying a box, watching her with a warmth that made her heart tremble. You are settling in well. Because of you, she said. You stood by me when I was at my lowest. Mike shook his head. No, Vera. You carried yourself. I only held the light so you could find your way. Her breath caught. Something gentle, something she thought life had taken, returned slowly. Within days, she rented a small shop, a fresh start, a new dream. A sewing machine, cutting table, mannequins, fabric rolls, her future taking shape. Her mother's eyes glistened. I always knew your hands were gifted. She worked, she rebuilt. Stitch by stitch, she pieced her life back together. One afternoon, 2 former colleagues visited. God has been released, one said. Her father paid everything, charges withdrawn. He's preparing her papers. She'll travel soon. Vera nodded softly. Of course he did. A real father never abandons his child. Unlike mine. No shock, no anger, just clarity. That evening, she and Mike sat on her balcony, overlooking the glowing city. I heard about gold, she said. I did too, Mike replied. I didn't know how you'd feel. I'm not surprised. Mr. Cooker is a good man. He'll do anything for his daughter. Her expression darkened slightly. That's something Rowland West could never understand. Mike's jaw clenched. You didn't deserve what he did to you. She said quietly. When Mama called him while I was in custody, he said he had other children now, that he didn't have time for the criminal she called a daughter. Her voice was steady. No pain, just acceptance. That was the day I decided I'm done with him. Not in anger, but in peace. Mike gently took her hand. And what life do you want now, Vera? She looked at him, the man who fought for her when the world doubted her. I want a life where I'm valued, where I'm seen, she whispered. Mike's fingers intertwined with hers. Her smile bloomed slowly. Hope settled softly between them.
Weeks later, Rowland's wife traveled abroad for a business conference when the call came from the school. Mr. Rowland West. Yes, who am I speaking with? Sir, your son. There has been an accident. He's lost a lot of blood. Please come quickly. Rowland's heart dropped. He rushed to the school clinic, hands trembling, breath uneven. He saw his son lying pale and unconscious, tubes running across his small body. We need blood urgently, the doctor said. Are you willing to donate? Yes, anything, take it. Rowland rolled up his sleeves immediately. Minutes later, the doctor returned wearing a strange expression. Sir, your blood group does not match. Completely incompatible. Rowland blinked. That's impossible. I'm his father. The doctor hesitated. Sir, the child's blood type is extremely rare. Biologically, it cannot come from someone with your blood group. The words landed like a blow. Rowland staggered, gripping the edge of a table. Are you saying he is not my son? The doctor said nothing. His silence was confirmation. After the boy was stabilized with donor blood, Rowland left the clinic with shaking hands. Rage, confusion, disbelief, and betrayal twisted inside him. He didn't wait for his wife to return. That same evening, he ordered a private DNA test. When the result arrived, his world shattered. Not his.
He tested the second boy. Not his either. The life he built with pride, his perfect family, crumbled like dust. The woman he defended, protected, abandoned his first family for, had given him nothing he believed he had. Not even one child. His knees buckled. His throat tightened. His breath cracked painfully. And for the first time in years, Rowland remembered Vera. He had abandoned her and her mother, insulted them, called Vera a criminal, refused to help when she was in police custody, refused even to listen. All because he believed he finally had the real family he always wanted. Sons. Now the truth mocked him. A loud, raw scream tore from his chest. He slammed his fists against the floor as tears streamed uncontrollably. 2 boys, 2 sons he loved, none of them his.
In the next part of this story,
You are a monster, Gold. Only a monster sleeps peacefully after destroying an innocent girl. Will you ever forgive me? No. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not in 10 years. What you did does not deserve forgiveness. It deserves distance. At the doorway, Vera paused. I hope you become someone you can live with. Because the girl you were weeks ago, even you couldn't live with her.
more African stories, African folktales, audiobook romance, and folktales with moral lessons await you. Subscribe!